Let's get started. Beverly
Okay.
Rubenstein.
Thank you, Mac. It's my great pleasure to be with you and to share this little personal narrative that I did in my creative writing class. It's called Hip Hip Hooray. It seemed like we had nothing in common. He is a perfect specimen of athleticism, 6'2", 190 pounds, solid muscle from Jamaica. I am a 62-year-old flabby Jewish lady from Chicago. He was raised by his great-grandmother when his mother died at 16. I was raised in a solid, middle-class, prominent Jewish family. He was abandoned by his U.S. military father and later shuffled around the foster care system in America and landed on the streets of Chicago during his teen years. I grew up with 2 siblings, 2 loving parents, and a broad extended family, always protected from the harsh realities of life. He is black. Me, not so much. And yet, we forge a lifelong friendship that transcends the boundaries of time, space, and color. It all began in July of 1993 in Phoenix, Arizona. I had a regular meeting of my self-help group focusing on healthy living. Today I am bemoaning the fact that my life is over because I need a total hip replacement. After the meeting, a lady comes over to me, who I don't know, and she says, "You know, there is this guy in town who works with professional athletes who have injuries and joint issues. He himself has a total hip replacement and does rehab work with others who have the same problem. His name is Mack Newton. Here's his card." I look at the card and see that he's close by. I go to tell her thank you, and she is gone. I never saw her before in my life, and I have never seen her since. He works with professional athletes. I can hardly throw a ball. This is out of the question. However, I filed the business card in my wallet, and a week later the groin pain is excruciating. Maybe I should call that guy. As quickly as I have the thought, that's how quickly I poo-poo the idea. But 3 days later, I am desperate. "Newton Fitness, this is Vedith. May I help you?" "Hi, Vedith. I hear that Mr. Newton works with people who need hip surgery. What is your policy?" "Our policy is that Mr. Newton is available for consultation. Bring your x-rays and he will review them, discuss and evaluate if you are a candidate for his program." "Okay, but I hear that he works with professional athletes. Does he have regular people as well?" "Oh, yes. He has 3 levels of body conditioning classes 6 days a week, and he also teaches Taekwondo twice a day, 6 days a week." Yeah, but I'm 62 years old and hardly athletic. What could he do for me?" "Well, first of all, he has many older clients that come in here and turn their lives around." And she goes on to tell me all the great results he has gotten with folks around my age. I continue my inquisition with more skepticism, but she is relentless with her encouragement. Finally, I agree to come in. Vedith, that kind, welcoming, easygoing person, got this fearful Jewish matriarch to relax and go for the $50 consult. 2 days later, I limp into his office. He stands up with his handsome self and says, "Hi, Beverly, I'm Mack Newton." "Hi, Mack." What Vedith didn't mention is that he is a 7th degree black belt with trophies up the wazoo scattered all over the office, along with impressive sports memorabilia. He has earned 3 World Series rings as conditioning coach and trainer of the Oakland A's in the 70s, and has won 2 Super Bowl rings while with the Dallas Cowboys. His professional client list is a who's who in professional sports. Bo Jackson, Aeneas Williams, Roy Green, the list goes on. Mack, I love to walk on the beach, but now I can't walk without debilitating pain, and I'm afraid with ongoing arthritis and scoliosis that if I get a new hip, I'll never be able to walk on the beach again. There is something magical about him. His energy is electrical, positive, and larger than life. As I sit there, completely taken, while he talks about my x-rays and what I can expect from his program. We end up talking for well over an hour. Even though we come from such drastically different backgrounds, we connect mentally and spiritually. We discover miraculously that we have been led to some of the same conclusions on commitment, discipline, and accountability. And there is parallel thinking on a higher power and life force energy. Yet each of us is coming from very different vantage points. Just because you've never been athletic doesn't mean you can't do this work. Your muscles may be atrophied, but they are not dead. We'll prehab you for 6 weeks before your hip replacement surgery to get you ready for the procedure, and then we will rehab you afterward. You must understand that muscles pull bones, and the stronger the muscles, the less wear and tear on the bones. It makes complete sense to me. I know I'm in the right place, and no matter what it costs, I have to do this. Because I was a fat girl growing up, I hid from my gym classes and found any excuse to avoid playing sports. And there was no one, no teacher, no mentor, no anyone who didn't laugh at me when I attempted to run the bases or hit the ball. But this guy, he sees me inside. He senses my hunger for good health and function. And he isn't laughing or discouraging or saying, "Go to the back of the room and sit down, Bevy. You can never make it." No. Instead, he says with a bright smile and a twinkle in his eye, "I can fix you. And we are going to firm you up." Oh my God, the F word. Firm. Firm me up. Years of self-help, food management, faithful treadmill devotion has led me to a healthy body weight. But the thunder thighs and jiggly rear end, they never go away. Firm is a dream devoutly to be wished. Is it possible at this age? The following Monday morning, I begin a grueling week of prehab training. I walk into my first session, a large carpeted room. No shoes, no water, no swearing are allowed. Nothing from the outside world. This is sacred Taekwondo space. There is a sprawling sign in bold letters across the wall that says, "Attitude is everything." There are 7 of us in my first class. 3 fabulous bodies in the front row, the wives of 3 famous athletes. In the row behind the wives are 3 rehab clients, and the back row is me. I come to work out with full makeup because I am sure there is a Jewish commandment somewhere that says thou shalt not go in public without perfect makeup. And I want as little of my body exposed, so I wear heavy knit long lycra pants, a sports bra, leotard, and a long sleeve high neck shirt over that. Color coordinated, of course. You know the fashion police are everywhere. I didn't understand that there would be so many people in the class. How can I keep up with these gorgeous bodies? Where is the individual attention he had led me to believe I would be getting? What have I done? I've already paid my money, but is it too late to get out of this place? I am sweating like a furnace. My makeup is running. The temperature in the room is set at 98 degrees. I am sure this is what hell is like. The music is the one bright spot. He is a jazz and music aficionado, with rhythm being his middle name. Great sound system and pulsating rhythms distract me a bit. But this class is way beyond my pay grade. I am sobbing as I attempt to squat with my arms in front of me, following Mack's directions. But I know that my bent legs won't hold this rear end in the air, and as I feel my bottom headed for the floor, there is a magical knee under my butt holding me up. Master Newton intuitively knows I can't do the pose, so he runs to be at my back with his knee under my glutes so that I can hold the pose. I did it. He saw my distress. He didn't laugh. I sob and cry as I lift myself out of the pose and go on to the next one. From the head to class, he senses all of my body's weaknesses and limitations, runs to be at my side, stretching and supporting me in places on my body I never activated in my life. He does the same for every client. I can barely walk after the class. Emotion has overtaken me. Forget my makeup, I'm a disaster. It is the workout from hell. The good news is, we didn't have to move after the class. He followed the 75-minute workout with a 45-minute lecture on goal setting, attitude, and the spiritual laws of the universe. Mack is a Vietnam veteran. Taekwondo resurrected his messed up life after service to his country. So his martial arts style of shouting orders at you and expecting you to comply is tough love to me. Even though the words are harsh, the actions are kind, and I respond well to it. Because left to my own devices, I will whine and manipulate my way out of anything painful or difficult, and he seems to know that. Somehow, with burning quads, aching abs, and immobile arms and legs, I miraculously managed to get into my car, drive home, stumble into my den, and completely pass out on the sofa. My husband, Harold, comes home and finds me. He's scared. What happened? It's okay, honey. I'll be fine. I must do this program 5 days a week for 6 weeks until my surgery in August. By Friday, when he finds me again passed out, he is beside himself to see me so utterly unable to function. Honey, I'm so worried about you. Are you sure this is necessary? I know this seems a bit drastic, but please, dear, bear with me. I can't tell you why. I just know I must do this. And after 3 weeks of this daily torture, miracles begin to happen. My hip pain is gone. It has been dissipated by all the other pain from awakening all the atrophied muscles in my body. I learned the difference between real pain and muscle soreness and tightness. I can squat. I can almost run. By the time my surgery date rolls around, I'm in better shape than ever. And Mack and I look at each other and we think, why go for the surgery now? Let's just keep plugging along and see where this leads us. So we put off the surgery for a few more weeks, and ultimately we end up putting it off for 1 full year. On August 9th, 1994, I am 141 pounds, going into hip replacement surgery in the best shape of my entire life at age 63. I need to tell you that after that first session, I never wore full makeup again. And fashion went out the window. When you work out with the Mack Daddy, as he likes to call himself, you come to work. So work clothes are in order. Comfortable, faded, torn is okay. Mostly black, no pink. It sucks the energy from the room. Okay, let's finish strong, he yells at the end of each class. And no matter how tired we are, schwitzing like sopping wet dish rags, there is one final ritual that everyone must participate in. It is a set of 50 mountain climbers, which is really strenuous floor exercise, where you are running in place with your head and butt down, hands planted firmly on the floor. Everyone must complete all 50. If you stop in the middle, or at any point before the 50 are done, You and the whole class have to start over. Sometimes the 50 mountain climbers become 400 or 500 because people stop in the middle. We begin rooting for each other and giving moral support with lots of encouraging words like, "We can do this, keep it going, don't stop now," so we won't have to do them over. This builds a team mentality, and you really get to see what each person is made of and how they react under the stress of this elite training. Clients often bond and form close friendships. Outsiders very often say, "You guys are like a cult." And so the training opens a new level of camaraderie with like-minded people. We start socializing and going to sporting events together. There is an annual Christmas party for all clients, including the celebrity professionals who we all get to know to work out with as they come in with their rehab issues. He has a nickname for everyone. I become the Bev-Zilla, and he uses me as the poster child for older clients to see what is possible. "This lady is 64 years old. Just get him back to her, do whatever she does," he would tell new clients and muscle-bound athletes. Wherever I go, people see my newfound strength and confidence. They want what I have. All of my family eventually attempt the training: husband, son, daughter, son-in-law, grandsons. Mack becomes part of our family. His longtime client and miracle before me, Mary Hook, gave him his introduction to a loving family. But I like to think that I became the mama he never knew. We have long talks, confide in each other, socialize and travel together. Me with husband Harold, and he with the girlfriend du jour. I get him to gentrify his wardrobe from only wearing blue jeans. He has Passover Seder with us. I go with him on speaking gigs. On his TV show, he features me doing a full split. I'm getting a little emotional. He and I lead a retreat together in Sedona. You get the picture. When he needed a delicate valve replacement surgery, he went to Stanford University Medical Center, where they were doing a cutting-edge procedure for his specialized problem. Mary Hook and I went with him. He says, "But Bevy, only family is allowed in the ICU." Well, we'll let them know that I'm your mama. And so it was. At the hospital, I told them I am his mother, and no questions were asked. I trained with him for over 12 years. I learned to go for the gold, and the body will respond at any age. In the course of those years, I also got a knee replaced. Of course, there is a great result. You can't be afraid of arthritic pain. Keep moving and go through it to the other side. What a legacy. I worked hard. It paid off. Today, Mack and I are still friends. I totter a bit when I walk. The arthritis, scoliosis, spondylosis, other complications of age don't go away. But as you see, they will never define me. I'm a yogi and ballroom dancer now. Even though we had nothing in common going in, I like to think that we ended up learning and growing from one another in a relationship that will always bring a smile to our hearts. I've often thought about, what if that stranger hadn't given me Mack's card? What if Vedith wasn't there that day? I hobbled into his studio, unable to walk, afraid my life was over, Instead, I got into the best shape of my life, and a new dimension of living opened up for me. As the Zen Buddhists say, when the student is ready, the teacher appears.